Ice Quad Neil Dingle here, and I'm just kidding. What is up, everybody? Mars Sports, it's your boy, Marshall, and today we've got the second to last video of the season for NFL picks. Nah, I'm just kidding, but well, yes, it is the second to last, but hey, there's always next season. Anyways, let's do this. So today, we've got the conference championships to pick. And man, sorry, my Xbox is turning on if you hear that in the background. Today, though, we have conference championships to pick. We only got 2 games, but they're 2 very important games. This determines who will be in the Super Bowl. So let's do this. So yeah, let's start with the AFC Championship. Let's be honest, it's Taylor Swift versus everyone else. At least that's what I've heard. The Kansas City Chiefs, they made it to the Super Bowl like a billion bajillion times all the last couple years. They made it in 2020, then 2021, and then 2023. The one year was 2022. They didn't make it in the last couple years because the Bengals were really good that year. And they probably shouldn't have made it last year for that bad call at the end of the game. But yeah. Anyways, but the Chiefs have been a little off from usual lately. I mean, they've been very, very good still. It's just they don't have a wide receiver on that team besides Rashee Rice. And I guess Marcus Valdes-Scantling is pretty good too. At least he went off against the Bills at one point. But Chiefs, it's going to be interesting. Taylor Swift's going to be at the game, I assume. Yeah. Next up, we have the Ravens to talk about. John Harbaugh, with his brother Jim Harbaugh coming to the NFL, it won't affect them for this season, but it's going to affect them next season. But anyways, I'll make a whole video on coaches eventually, once all the coaching voids have been filled. But the Ravens have been so good this year. Lamar Jackson's been on fire. And they're supposed to get Mark Andrews back this weekend, which is really good for them. And, yeah, I think that the Ravens have been on fire this year. They look like the best version of the Ravens that have been since probably 2013 or 2012 season, I guess, technically. I talk about the season where they went to the Super Bowl and the power went out in the Superdome. Which, speaking of, the Superdome is going to host the Super Bowl next year, so hopefully the power stays on at that point. But yeah, anyways, the Ravens have looked so good. They've been really good the last couple years. And they've gotten, I feel like if the Bengals had Joe Burrow, I think Ravens have a little bit more losses because I feel like, I don't know. Who knows? I think the Ravens would have still been really the best team in that division now. Yeah, but the Ravens have been so good this year. Who do I pick to win this game? Ravens have been so well rested because they've been at home ever since they have not left they have not played an away game since Christmas, I think, when they played the 49ers. And they are hosting this weekend. Yes, the Chiefs are very good, and they got Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Andy Reid. But the Ravens has been so good this year. I'm going to go with the Ravens. And 63% safe, so that the Ravens are going to win it. Yeah, I'm doing a longer discussions about each game because there's not as many games. Plus, they're the most important games of the year, so I might as well. 63% go with the Ravens. And then, last but not least, good Lord. It's already the last one. Wow. We got the Lions versus the 49ers. What we could see is a rematch from Ravens. We could see the Ravens 49ers, which would be a rematch of earlier this season, and will also be a rematch of Super Bowl, I don't know what number it was, Super Bowl 47, I think? It was the one in 2013, the same one when the power went out and Beyonce performed. That one is Jim versus John Harbaugh, when John Harbaugh is still coaching the NFL, back with the 49ers. Now he's coaching again in the NFL. Well, at least start next season. 49ers. And then 49ers Ravens would be interesting. We could also see Lions Ravens would be a rematch of that awful game that we saw Although I think if the Lions actually make it this time, they'll play way better. I think the Lions were just off that day. We could see that. We could also see a rematch of the Lions versus the Chiefs, which that's the game that started the season, and it could end the season as well. Or we could see the Chiefs versus the 49ers, which would be a Super Bowl 54 rematch. Yeah. Yeah, it would be a Super Bowl 54 rematch. Which is the same one where not Beyonce, the same one where Jennifer Lopez and Sharika performed, and it was also in Miami. I remember that game. That was an interesting game. Yeah, that was right before the COVID pandemic hit. But yeah, it was with the Lions. Man, what a storybook season for them. Jared Goff has Jared Goff and that whole group have been so good this year. Dan Campbell has freaking taken this organization, put in the best positions probably had it's ever been since at least since the 90s. But like, speaking of Jim Harbaugh, it's not notification pop on the screen. It's been basically like that. It's been basically a long seasons for them for a long time now because they've been pretty bad last couple years. Like, I remember like 2021, they were so over the moon about a tie because they lost all their other games at that point in the season. That was like mid-season too when that happened. Yeah, and then last year they showed signs of life. Like they went 9-8. That's a good sign of things. They're super good this year. They hosted 2 playoff games this year, which is way more than they've hosted in the last 30 years. They've never hosted them on Ford Field anyways, because that stadium opened up, I believe, in the 2000s. If I'm not mistaken, like the early mid 2000s, something like that. But the Lions, they've been so good. That whole organization, they got a young team, but they're so good. Basically, what the Jets wish they could be, because they have a very young team too, but they haven't really done great. And to be fair, Aaron Rodgers got injured, so I feel like that hurt a lot of things. And no pun intended. No pun intended. Yeah, and then, so yeah, there's that. And then the 49ers are hosting. 49ers, man, they've been so good this year, too. And they just, what else could I say? Like, they have freaking, how do I put this? Brock Purdy, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, Christian McCaffrey, Chase Young, George Kittle. I could go on. Man, they've been so good this year. Like, Brandon Ayuk, I think which one? I thought it was Ayuk or Samuel. I get them mixed up a lot. The guy got injured in the game. He's supposed to come back for this one. The one who got injured last week, I believe it was Samuel, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, I sound like an amateur, or I'm not, or someone doesn't know like anything about football, even though I just woke up like 2 hours ago. It just get things mixed up sometimes. But man, they've been so good. Brock Purdy, boy's great. The fact that he was really the last pick in the NFL draft is crazy. How he's gonna potentially make it to the Super Bowl. So I just realized the first pick of the NFL draft is first. So number 1 pick in the NFL draft is gonna play the first pick in the NFL draft is going to play the last pick in the NFL draft. Not for the same year, obviously. Jared Goff got drafted in 2016, and Brock Purdy got drafted in 2022. But, yeah, so there's that. So who's going to win this game? Dan Campbell versus Kyle Shanahan, both amazing coaches. 49ers have been really good this year. But, man, I don't know why. I said this in my predictions video when I predicted the whole playoffs, that I just have a feeling I have a weird feeling. I just feel like they're so good this year. I think the Lions are going to win that game. And oh my God, it is 51%, 49%. 49% for the 49ers. That is crazy. Yeah, I think the Lions. I think it's gonna be a super close game. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that game goes to overtime. And like I said in my prediction last week, Kansas City versus Buffalo. I said that game would go to overtime. Listen, Tyler Bass made that field goal. They would have gotten to overtime. So what do I know? But Detroit, I see them winning that game, and I think we're gonna get a Ravens versus Lions Super Bowl, which will be a rematch. I think the Lions will have to fight for in that game. I mean, both of them obviously, but like the Lions got killed by the Ravens earlier this season. So yeah. Anyways, y'all, that's gonna do it for this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Who do y'all think's gonna make the Super Bowl? Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Only one more picks video, which is really just picking one game because it's the Super Bowl. That would be interesting. Super Bowl will be in Vegas this year. And you're like, are you going to Super Bowl, Marshall? No. No, I've never been to a Super Bowl. My dad went last year and said it was awesome. He's not going this year, though. Man. But one day I'll try to go to a Super Bowl. Maybe I'll even try next year because it's in New Orleans. That's where a lot of my family lives at. So yeah. Anyways, y'all, that's gonna do it for this one. Let me know if you're going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, anyways, that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day and goodbye. See y'all next one. Peace.